What's a massive scandal/controversy that people seem to have forgotten about?
The FBI knew the pedophile Larry Nassar was a molesting child gymnast and allowed him to continue for years. They went so far as to falsify the testimony of the victims. No one at the FBI has been punished. Nassar was sentenced in 2017.
The NYC mayor's wife misplaced a whole lot of money and nobody seems to care at it. Wilhelm, more commonly known as Bill Deblasio, appointed his wife, who then proceeded to lose $850 million at it too.
Assassination of Haiti's president.
Those Turpin siblings that escaped being chained to their beds by their shitty parents? Happy ending, right? Yeah, no. Turns out their foster parents ended up abusing them even worse, and now a bunch of them are suing. Edited to add, I'm not American and this update did not make international news at all. Nobody I've spoken to about this knew of the update.
Recycling. You'd be amazed and disgusted at how much stuff you think you are recycling that your municipalities are shipping off to other countries just so they can dump it in the ocean for you. We know this is happening too, but because we're disconnected from it, we just ignore it. Edit, a word. Also edit, wow, this blew up, and well after this post hit popularity. Thanks for awards, people. Call your local GATA and push to have better programs in place. Ban single-use plastics. Email your fast food chains to turn their lids into drinkable lids, etc. So many plastic items cannot be recycled.
Wells Fargo Bank opening BS accounts and submitting credit card applications on behalf of their customers, without their knowledge or consent. I'm actually a customer with them and have been for years, so for all I know they did that to me, but all I ever got was a couple emails about how they're really a good company with good people and that doesn't reflect their values or some such crap like that. I think they ended up firing a lot of people, and executives who knew about it were fined millions of dollars. But I mean, if the practice went that high, it must have been widely known. Edit, wow, thank you for the gold. This became one of my most popular comments ever, lol.
Airlines getting bailed out by taxpayers during crisis and with executives still taking huge bonuses. The quality of airlines significantly deteriorated because they don't want to compress profit by paying more to hire more and expand flight offerings again to pre-pandemic levels.
Ticketmaster buying their own tickets to scalp out at thousands of dollars.
Not an overtly public or well-known scandal, but where the fuck is Shelley Miscavige? And why is no one actively investigating her disappearance?
In 2016, South Korea had a political scandal in which the president Park Geun-hye was exposed for being manipulated/controlled by a cult called the Eight Goddesses Cabal. South Korea was literally being ruled by a cult. Park was impeached.
Boy George. He was jailed for 15 months for imprisoning a Norwegian male escort after a nude photo shoot, in what the judge called a premeditated, callous and humiliating assault. He basically tortured him. And now he hosts TV shows in Australia.
Currently ongoing, but nobody is saying shit. The Hyundai plant in Alabama has employed 50 underage workers. Some of them are as young as 12 years old. They have these kids working shifts around the clock. Crazy that this hasn't made a much bigger splash.
DuPont, still active company, when producing Teflon, dumped loads of bad chemicals into the water, and Teflon was poisoning people all over the world, giving them 6 known types of cancer. They covered it up for decades. Crazy how evil some companies are.
That McDonald's Monopoly sweepstakes? None of the big prize-winning pieces ever made it to stores. The guy in charge of randomly putting them on cups and cartons after production kept them and gave them to friends, splitting the winnings. 4 years.
MP pedophile dossier. A bunch of UK politicians were caught borrowing children for an orphanage for all the unspeakable things you can imagine. Another politician managed to weave himself into this circle, consisting of around 20 members, and took down names, dates, locations and victims. He then handed off this book to the Home Office, British CIA, who then handed it to the police, who then lost it. No action was taken. The case has been reopened 5 times since, and each conclusion has always been, we lost the book. And we're not going to investigate it ourselves, because, I think this circle is still going on and the police are being paid off to never investigate it.
Panama Papers proved that the rich and elite are hiding billions and everyone was just like meh.
In the Philippines, the dictatorship and the extrajudicial killings, as well as the corruption under the presidency of Ferdinand Marcos, seem to be forgotten already. People here even elected his son as the president.
That lady that ran over a kid in the UK but got away with it because she was married to a US diplomat.
The BP oil spill. In 2015, I drove by a packed BP and told my buddy, wow, BP is lucky everyone forgot, and he said, forgot what?
Politicians cashing out for huge profits right before COVID was widely publicized and the stock market tanked. They made millions and millions as millions of people lost millions and their lives.
Animal scandal in Berlin Zoo. In 2008, news surfaced that many of the zoo's animals may have been sold for slaughter. Green Party politician Claudia Hammerling, backed by several animal rights organizations, accused the zoo's director, Bernhard Blaskiewicz, of delivering tigers to China to be killed for potency drugs and selling a pygmy hippopotamus and a family of Asiatic black bears for slaughter. Hammerling also said that more than 100 animals had disappeared from the zoo. Blaskiewicz denied the allegations.
Cambridge Analytica. They use social media and social sciences to manipulate entire countries. They helped facilitate Brexit and cause a huge cultural divide in the US. I think it's new kind of warfare.
I still feel like Equifax got off way too easy. People should have been arrested. That breach was a direct result of negligence. Edit. Wow, this comment blew up. Thank you everyone.
The absolutely massive amount of PPP money from COVID that was hoovered up by the rich and then vanished. Billions and billions were stolen and or laundered, and we will never know the extent.
Completely legal yet non-consensual pelvic and rectal exams on sedated patients in teaching hospitals through the USA. The only states that banned the practice: Hawaii, California, Oregon, Connecticut, and Illinois.
Karl Malone got a kid pregnant.
In 2008, when banks got bailed out with our money and the CEOs got bonuses.
The various genocides going on in Asia and Africa right now. No one seems to care unless it's a slow news week, which hasn't happened in a few years with the current political shitstorm in America/Europe.
Johnson & Johnson knew for decades that asbestos was in its baby powder. Never heard a peep about it.
1. Caitlyn Jenner being let off for vehicular manslaughter. 2. Kenneth Lay dying weeks after his conviction for crimes related to his time at Enron, with no body at the funeral and his alleged ashes buried in an undisclosed location.